What's up, y'all? Hey, real quick, I want to give y'all my all-time top 10 NBA players in the NBA. This is just my picks for anybody that wanted to chime in and want to give their top 10. Please do in the comments. But in this video, I'm going to just give y'all my quick top 10. The way I judge the players, it's not all favoritism, it's not all fanboyism. It's off of the accomplishments, their loyalty, their hard work, and the journey that it took for them to win those rings. There's guys who win rings, and then there's guys who chase rings. This is no hate and no shade to anyone that I didn't put on this list, but I feel like the guys on my list earn the right to be in the top 10 for me. My number one is Michael Jordan. I feel like Michael Jordan, what he accomplished in the span of time that he was in the NBA, and him being undefeated in the finals, and the impact he made on the game, and him changing the game, I got to give him number one. Number two is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar should have been number one, but yes, I mean, he was all-time leading scorer for many, many years before LeBron passed him, and he has 6 rings, and he had a ring. He won a ring with Milwaukee, and he won 5 rings with the Lakers. And this man, not to mention, he was a sky hook guy. Like, this guy was known for sky hooks and maybe dunks. He didn't shoot no threes, and he really didn't even shoot anything past the 16-footer. And you mean to tell me this man was all-time leading scorer in the NBA? Even Jordan couldn't catch him? Nobody couldn't catch him for a while, until LeBron's longevity in the league helped him to pass him up. So I'm gonna rank Kareem number 2. Number 3 is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. I feel like Kobe Bryant, not only did he win 5 rings with one franchise, one organization, but he was the next best thing. He was the next thing to Jordan. Nobody can deny that. There was no other player similar to Jordan than Kobe. There was no other player closest to Jordan than Kobe. There was no player that was as great as Jordan than Kobe. And as a lot of us can agree that Kobe surpassed Jordan, and as far as skill set and hard work ethic, and just that killer mentality, Kobe is that guy. When you think of hard work, when you think of hard work and dedication, it's Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. So Black Mamba's number 3 for me. Number 4 is Bill Russell. This is a man that won 11 rings with one franchise, the Celtics. People, these young generation of guys, they say, "Oh man, he played with number plumbers and electricians." You know what? I think it's just these youngsters. They see the way they see these guys. A lot of these youngsters are obsessed with looks, which is a little suspect to me. But they are more into how someone looked. If they looked older back in the day, because back in the day, these guys looked like old heads. Even if they was in their 30s or 20s, they looked like they was in their 40s and 50s, because they had all the facial hair, small shorts on, and their style of play was different. Plus, they had those high water socks. So, of course, the way it looked, it was like, these dudes can't ball. But you got to remember, the game evolved over time. So, you can't take away from eras. Bill Russell won 11 rings, and he was dominant at what he did. If he was not on that Celtics team, I don't think they would have won all those rings. So Bill Russell is number 4. Number 5 is Magic Johnson. Mr. 5 rings, Mr. Showtime Laker. And I can't even remember how many years he played fully, but I want to say within 8 to 9 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, or within 10 seasons, he won 5 rings. Magic Johnson had a great run, and was very, very dominant, course, people can say, well, he had Kareem. Oh, yeah, he had Byron Scott. He had James Worthy in them. But really, they all fed off of Magic Johnson. If it wasn't for Magic Johnson and his IQ, his court generalship, and his abilities, his special talents and gifts, the Showtime Lakers wouldn't even have won those championships. So Magic Johnson is my number 5. Mr. 5 Rings is number 5 in my all-time top 10 NBA players. Number 6 is Larry Bird. Larry Bird. I think Larry Bird has 4 rings, 4 championships with 1 franchise, the Celtics. This is probably one of the coldest white boys to play in the NBA. There's a lot of cold white boys now. You got Jerry West, Pistol Pete, Pete Maravich, and many others. But number 6 is Larry Bird, my all-time. This guy was relentless. He was a competitor. He was loyal to the Celtics. Blood, sweat, and tears. Win, lose, or draw, injury or non-injury, he was going to play. He was going to do everything he could to help win. And if it wasn't for Magic Johnson's Lakers, Larry Bird would probably have 6, 7, 8 rings right now. Let's be real. Let's be 100. Larry Bird was that guy. So, number 6 is Larry Bird. Number 7 for me is Julius Erving, Dr. J. This man has 3, I think he won 3 championships. 2, I believe, was with the ABA, if that's what they called it. And then when they merged the NBA, he won a ring with the Sixers. And you got to remember, if it wasn't for Dr. J, there would be no Michael Jordan, or there would be none of these other guys that you see, these high flyers. When you think of high flyer, when you think of dunks, flashiness, charisma, leadership, and inspiration, an icon, Dr. J is the guy. He is the GOAT of this style of play that we see from all of these young generations. It's evolved over time where you got guys that can dunk any kind of way, flashiness, style, and grace. That originated with Dr. J. Before Michael Jordan was known for all that flashiness, it was Dr. J. So he has to be in my top 10 all time. Julius Erving is number 7. Number 8 for me is Tim Duncan. Big fundamental. Tim Duncan, man, with 1 franchise. This man won 5 rings. He's arguably the most dominant power forward to ever play in the NBA. And he definitely changed the game, and he helped elevate the city of San Antonio. And so I would be doing him an injustice and an inservice if I didn't include Tim Duncan in my top 10. He's number 8. Number 9 is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most dominant centers we've ever seen. I can't pit Wilt over him. Shaq was that guy. He was the most ferocious center we've ever seen. He has 4 rings, 3 with the Lakers, 1 with Miami. That's a little, I kind of have to knock him a little bit because he went to other teams and he jumped to other teams to try to compete and surpass Kobe instead of just sticking it out and working hard like Kobe wanted him to do. But a lot of people have their reasons for why they think Shaq left, but Shaq confirmed that he didn't leave because of Kobe. He left because he felt like he shouldn't take a pay cut, and he probably didn't like the pressure that was being put on him. Plus, when Kobe got caught up in that situation in Denver, when his back was against the wall, he threw some other guys under the bus and said, all the other niggas, they be having girls too. They be sleeping with women on the road. He shouldn't have said that. But this was a young Kobe who was, remember, Kobe wasn't from the hood, so he had to learn from that lesson. He did. He learned from it. He grew from it, and he became a better man from it. But Shaq was still the most ferocious thing we've ever seen in the NBA. So the most dominant center in the league, Shaq, is number 9. Number 10, I was kind of back and forth. I was really confused on it, or I wasn't certain, but I put Stephen Curry as my number 10 all time, only because LeBron, even though LeBron's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA, and he has 4 rings with 3 different teams, Stephen Curry is the all-time leader in threes made, and he has 4 rings with 1 team. And this man is the most gifted shooter we've ever seen ever in the NBA. No one is a better pure shooter than Curry. There's a lot of great shooters now, but Curry is the genesis of that. So Curry he cracked my top 10. I was gonna do LeBron, but Curry to me, I felt like he earned his rings better, and he worked harder for his rings than LeBron did. You know, he worked with Curry. Didn't have to lead to another team to win rings. Curry didn't have to go to extra desperate measures. He had pretty much the same core guys that he's had. You know, he did have KD, but KD came to him, and Curry proved that he can win with or without KD. He won a ring without KD prior to KD coming, and then KD left and he won another ring. So it's proved that Curry is that guy. So Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Stephen Curry are my top 10 all time in the NBA. Salute.